Hi there, and welcome to this beautiful day for a really short and brief but poignant Thriving Life podcast. I wanted to share with you that there's something about trust that I wanted to just bring to the forefront. I've had a lot of conversations lately with people about wanting to trust others, or wanting to trust God, or wanting to trust their life, or wanting to trust whatever. And I have something to say about that, because we've all had this idea. I'm sure we've all said at some point, oh, I really trust them, or I really trust that project to happen, or I really trust that stock to go up, or whatever it is. I really trust my mate. I really trust my girlfriend or my boyfriend. And that is an interesting game to play, the trust game. Because if you're playing the trust game, you're also playing the betrayal game, or the idea that you could be betrayed by what you trust. Think of an alternative. If there are 3 levels or ways that you can live, one way is to really be in survival mode all the time, and that way you don't trust anybody. The second level up is this surviving better, where you are cautiously optimistic, but you trust, but then you don't trust. But you see, from the third level up here, from the level of your beingness, from the state of that you exist and that you are a divine child of an infinite universe and you have access to everything you need. From that place, it's an entirely different way of living, because you wouldn't even be interested in trusting or not trusting. It's a very mental activity. It's like giving all your power away to something or some entity or some person. Instead, you'd look at every action that someone takes, or every dip that your stock takes, or every time someone is hard on you or gets angry, you would look at it more as information. And instead of trusting them to be this way or that way, you would actually be more in your awareness of what's going on around, and that it isn't that you're looking to make up for your childhood where you aren't safe, and then you need someone you can trust because you weren't safe in your childhood. So that's constantly recreating your childhood, because nobody is 100% safe. It just doesn't happen. People get irritated, people get frustrated. But from that third level, what you're doing is you have such a presence and an awareness that you know what's going on in all the situations, and you have the presence of mind to sell the stock before it goes down. You would have the presence of mind what would happen is you would have the deeper conversation with the friend that didn't show up for the lunch. And you would have the conversation and tell them that it felt a certain way to you, and that, did something happen? Are they okay? You would come from compassion and love for yourself and for them. And you would also be willing to ask for what you need, but not from a place of, you better give me what I need or I'm going to feel bad and I'm a victim of you. From that third higher place, you're never a victim of anyone. You just make choices from your awareness, from your presence. You just make choices. And it's not like you're cutting people out of your life because they, cheated on you, or whatever it is. What you're doing is you're looking to have the conversation about what happened, to see how open the energy is to move in a new direction, or if there's something to learn. And then even the idea of, in the case of a relationship, to stay or go, It's done from a state of presence rather than from a state of reaction. It's done from a place of neutrality. That's where we all want to get. But sometimes we're in such survival that we do need to leave in order to get to the place. In a relationship, for instance, you may need to, if you're in survival all the time, you may need to split up for 6 months so you can find yourself to see if there's even something to pursue. Because if you're not in your presence, you're in an entangled relationship. That's just the way it is. There's just two people's hurts and wounds dancing with each other, hoping that the other one can be good enough for them such that they don't trigger, that's just entanglement. I was just talking to someone and we were using the phrase that basically means, and if they were different, they'd be so much better. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not different, right? And I share this with you today because the issue is not about staying at the level of surviving better. It's about having the experiences that get you to the place that you can walk around in a certain sense of presence and embodiment as a divine child of an infinite universe, as a being state, not me giving you tools and skills. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. It's like even people that run around looking, can I trust life? Well, you can trust life to match your vibration. That is what you can trust. That is the biggest thing you can trust, is you can trust life to match your frequency. Life is only responding to what you've accepted as reality and what you're a frequency match for. As you collect evidence for the heavenly flow of this beautiful thing we call life, it becomes more heavenly. It truly does. And you have to be willing to stop collecting evidence for reality, because the reality that's in front of you is a direct result of what you believe is possible for yourself based on the evidence you've collected. And most people collect evidence so that they can make up beliefs so that they can protect themselves using their beliefs, and their beliefs become a protective mechanism. This is the way life is. I feel safe now. I feel in control. If this is how life is, then I'm just going to behave this way according to my beliefs. So let's throw the last monkey wrench into this conversation, and that is, what if beliefs even are not that? What if what you believe is just because you've collected evidence for that belief in the first place? What if it's because your family is a certain way, society is a certain way, maybe you grew up in a church or a synagogue or a mosque and you got beliefs from there, and there's just projections of beliefs that become excuses, not excuses like bad, but a filter through which to see life, to make it comfortable so you're not just floating around, bumping up against things without a context for your life. So beliefs are okay about people, about humans, about things, about nature, about the nature of things, about the nature of humanity, about what's happening in the world right now, about politics. It's good. It's okay to have beliefs. But at this point in my life, and at this point in just having brought through so much of what the infinite has to say, and knowing that I know nothing at this point, I really, things that I believed, it just, of course, that was my filter, and so I would get more evidence for that belief. Does that mean the belief is true, or does it mean that's just what I kept collecting evidence for, and life responded in kind? I told it what's important to me by putting a lot of attention on those beliefs, and that's what I got. So where I am going with this, lovely friends, is I'm going to the place where I just want to say that maybe, just maybe, Hold your beliefs loosely. Start to let yourself go to a place where you understand that life can be lived beyond beliefs, where life can be lived from presence, and you can just be shown how there is to live. So if you're interested in that life, just as a little station identification moment, we are going to Costa Rica, and we're going on the experience of embodying that amount of presence, such that you can have the experience of everything coming to you, and that the miraculous just becomes normalized, and that little sense of urgency inside that tells you that there's something more gets validated, and you start to see the something more that life it's waiting for you, I promise. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in the way. And we're going to be immersed in the land of nothing being in the way, so that you can start to embody, or continue embodying, or like me, keep expanding and embodying. That's a few people will be like that. Just this sense of, I'm good. Life is good. All is well. No matter, it's not denying what's going on in the world. It's actually essential because of what's going on in the world. Presence is essential because otherwise you're going to be pulled by everything. So, and plus, I get to do holographic readings with you when we circle up in Costa Rica, maybe on the beach in front of the sunset. You know, who knows? I'm just excited to be there with you. And you can go to our website, thewideawakening.com, and you will find the trip there. All right, in the meantime, a beingness shift requires experiences. Experiences that will shake the tree of what you believe, so that you can transcend the idea that you need to find the right beliefs. And you can be so in your presence that you're just a walking meditation and constantly being guided to what would feed your soul, to what is in the highest, to what answers the question, what's the greatest thing I can do with the least amount of effort that would have me waking up inspired, going to bed knowing that I did what I came to the planet for, and it just made the biggest difference for me, my family, my life, whatever it is, whatever has meaning. I don't care what's going on in the world. We all have the capacity to do that. And that includes you. All right. This is the Thriving Life Show, and I'm so happy to be with you today. In future, our Thriving Life shows are going to include other people. We're going to start co-leading these with Jeannie Selda, who is such a relationship expert and a channel in and of herself. We're going to bring some guests on that are super juicy, but I just wanted to shine this message on you, and I'm so looking forward to Costa Rica with many of you, which is coming up soon, so make sure you check out the page. Lots of love. Big hug.